Greetings in the name of Yahusha HaMashiach, Melek of Yasharal, Kohen forever, according to the order of Melchizedek. All esteem, honor, and glory unto our Lua, Yahuwah. My name is MELEK Shelomoh. This is MELEK Shelomoh Trading. And right now I'm going to do a trade recap I did on the ES futures. I might have some alerts here before I play this risk disclosure. If the volume is drowning out the risk disclosure, just read along, right? Because I have these alerts going off, so I'm going to turn on the desktop audio now, and you're probably going to hear some of that along
Tracking.
with the risk
Iceberg
disclosure.
ES Buy.
General disclosure. All MELEK Shelomoh Trading LLC materials, information, and presentations are
Tracking.
for educational
Iceberg
purposes
ES Buy.
only and should
Stock
not be
run
considered
ES sell
specific
wipeout.
investment advice
Stock
nor
run ES sell
recommendations.
wipeout.
Risk disclosure. Trading futures, equities, and digital currencies
Tracking.
involves
Iceberg
substantial
ES
risk
Buy.
of loss and is not suitable
Tracking.
for all investors.
Iceberg ES Buy.
Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results.
All right, so let's get started here. This is from the open 9:30 Eastern time. Let's see here. Grab the arrow. All right, so I'm going to point out some of the Wyckoff theory labels that are labeled here on the custom notes. So we have the preliminary supply at the open. So we open, we pushed up, big buying. Preliminary supply is right here. You can see it over here. Just look across on the custom notes and you'll see those labels, right? So after the preliminary supply, we create the buying climax. That's covered up by this LPSY test. It's around the same area. So I'd have to open it up and you'll see it. Then we created the automatic reaction. We came up here, we created the uptrust, heavy volume on the uptrust, heavy volume on the buying climax. Excuse me. Then we have this here. This is our pivot level. That's the TC pivot. So in my markup, you're gonna see in the setup checklist, it's saying floor pivot R1. So I don't have this in the setup checklist. So this is the closest thing to it. Not in distance, but just in the label of it, because it's a floor pivot. But this is the central pivot, top central pivot. So I need to add that to the checklist because this is the pivot level I'm using, right? It's basically off of the central pivot range. So those are the labels of the Wyckoff theory, the distribution that's happening here, right? So we have this heavy liquidity. We also have heavy liquidity absorbing price as we move up, right? So buyers are getting absorbed. We have some liquidity on the offer as well, right? And supporting price as it pushes down. We have liquidity here, right? Resistance, right? So those are the liquidity areas that I was looking at. So let's open up the trade now. We're gonna go to, excuse me. Okay, so within the distribution, this is the buying climax here that I previously showed you over here. This is the uptrust. Just put that into perspective, right? So this is the uptrust up here. And I'm looking for a lower point of supply. So while we're pushing up here, looking for this retest, all of this here is like lower points of supply, but we're getting buyers here pushing back above VWAP. So let me just point out VWAP. That's that red line right there. So we're getting buyers at VWAP. Now I was cautious because on a higher time frame, we're looking at a phase B accumulation, so we could have volatility, right? So looking for buyers to start supporting this for maybe possibly a uptrend day, but still looking at the volatility and possible sideways kind of range in day. So it's going to be tricky because of the volatility of the price action within the phase we're in right now on a higher time frame. So I was cautious not taking these trades here, waiting for it to, because VWAP is right there, right? So it might be good enough for me to take the trade as like the range of the points, but I was still just cautious of these retests, right? Creating these lower points of supply. So we actually came up here and I was looking for a little distribution pattern as well, because some of these here, these tests, are not really creating a distribution pattern. It's just a quick exhaustion. So I was patient, just waiting for my trade to set up properly or not trade at all. So this is the retracement I was looking at. We're pushing up here. We're getting some low volume, right? After this heavy volume here buying, the retracement back up is falling volume. Then we get a rushing of volume here at the buying climax, like the preliminary supply, the buying climax, and the uptrust, right? So preliminary supply, first sign of weakness, buying climax on heavy volume. All of this is happening at my LPSY, right? By buying climax. So on the higher time frame, this is the level I'm looking at. This is the LPSY, the buying climax. And now I'm getting a mini distribution here. We get the uptrust, low volume uptrust, no volume on this right here, buying exhaustion, liquidity right here on top. And I took this trade here. Now, let me just open this up a little more. I was telling myself to be a little more cautious because of the volatility of this setup. So I should have waited here for this retest because I'm looking for LPSY on this breakdown to enter at the LPSY, right? So this is the higher time frame LPSY. This is a mini distribution right here. Let me just point out again, preliminary supply, buying climax, automatic reaction, uptrust, and I'm waiting now. It's supposed to break down and give me a LPSY. Now I'm shorting here as it's breaking down. That's not a good entry. So we pushed down, didn't take profit, and I forgot to do this, right? If I'm entering, let's say at the uptrust here, the first sign when it starts to recover, the first trade is supposed to I'm supposed to exit quickly, especially like by entering on the buying climax here. Like if I want to take an early trade, I'm seeing the heavy volume, the exhaustion here. On the creation of the automatic reaction, exit the trade because I know it's going to come back and give me the uptrust. If I take this entry here, as soon as it breaks down, I need to exit the trade and wait for the LPSY, enter again to catch all of this, right? So the execution on this wasn't perfect. I kind of shorted too late, didn't wait for the retest. You see, I'm shorting in the hole right there. It did break down a little bit. Was holding on to see if it would continue. It didn't. Push back, stop me out. So that's the first trade is a losing trade. The second trade, because I got the LPSY now, entered short, got a retest, pushed down, got 6 points, trailing stop is triggered, exited right there. So after that, took another short here, which was too low, not waiting for a pullback, shorting in the hole basically. I'm basically chasing the price right after it got absorption right there. It went into profit a little bit and pulled back. As soon as it pushed above break even, I just stopped out. But I jumped in here again after the LPSY. So I'm basically, I'm basically entering a little too late and not waiting for the pullback. So I need to work on that. This is the pullback here I should be waiting for, not entering here. Wait for this pullback. So after the pullback came, create another LPSY, short entry, 6 points, trailing stop activated, took me out, 4 points trailing stop, right? So I probably should have maybe exited here, but I was waiting for my take profit is just underneath VWAP. But I need to be more mindful of that as well. That's my full take profit at 12 points. So I need to be mindful of that. Is it the full? Wait, hold on. Let me just check this out. Yeah, that was the full take profit right there. So it was just below VWAP. So let me open that up a little bit. So even though I have a trail and stop management system, I still need to be wise as to where the take profit or the second take profit is. It's just below VWAP. I should probably put that just above VWAP because you see we just almost tagged VWAP right here. Let me just use the arrows. So that's the take profit. You see the take profit there, that's 12 points in. Came down here to almost VWAP. The VWAP is the red line. We have all this liquidity and I just held it for excuse me. I just held it for the 4 point trailing stop when I could have just probably put my take profit just a little bit above VWAP. So that's another lesson I learned here. I gotta be mindful of that and gotta journal that as well. And yeah, that was the trade today. Let's see. This is, I guess, 105% daily goal. And yeah, it was a decent trading session. So it was a little volatile, but I was expecting that, so I was patient, waiting for the setup. But then the execution of the setup was a little lagging. So I need to be on top of these LPSYs, take these trades up here instead of shortening the whole where is it? Down here after the break. Right. So yeah, it's Mikhail Shalomo. That's my Black Sun strategy. That's my setup. And I hope it's inspiring, man. You know what I'm saying? I hope these videos at least spark some ideas of your own. You could create your own strategies. I'm using I didn't point out this, but let me just go back real quick. I'm using deviation bands as well, right? So let me just show you. Right, so this is the first upper deviation. Let's see. The second upper deviation is all the way up here. So all of this is happening below second upper deviation. Hold on one second. Sorry, so it's showing the weakness or the resistance via the deviation. So once we start breaking down these levels, like the first upper deviation right here, it's time to enter the trade for me, right? So I'm seeing it coming down to this big selling volume. I'm taking the trade, but I'm a little late to these trades, right? These LPSYs, I need to take where I'm getting stopped out. That's where I really need to enter the trade. All right, y'all. So it's Mikhail Shalomo, Black Sun Strategy. Hope you're all getting something from these trade recaps. Hope it inspires you to create your own strategies. I'm using VWAP deviations. I'm using the Wyckoff theory to read order flow. I'm labeling out the charts for you. And there's one thing I needed to show you as well. Let's see. See if we could find this. So this is the algo chart. So it's a little messier. Let's see, what time was this trade here? Let's see if I could find it. Right, so I wanted to show you the market pulse on the sub chart as well because you can see I have these market pulse. This is VPI, this is VP, this is selling some absorption anchors, right? I call them VPA anchors and VPA rollover. So it's basically absorption triggers. These here are VP and VPI spikes. This is buying iceberg spikes, and I took this trade off of the development of the Wyckoff theory with the exhaustion of the volume, heavy volume. Plus, we're switching over to the sell side now with the VPI, volume pressure imbalance, is to the sell side. From the green turning into the purple, and we start holding below there until around my stop out actually we push back up. But the trade still moved down a little bit. So yeah, using the market pulse as well to gauge the distribution, right? So I'm looking for stuff like this, these spikes around the uptrust and the buying climax without any follow through. So from a volume perspective, I'm using that in the Wyckoff theory as well to start taking these trades. All right, y'all. It's Mikael Shalomo, Melek Shalomo Trading. Shalom.